Welcome to the Cenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Ever feel like your brain's humming along, like a well-oiled machine, and then suddenly substance use crashes in, throws everything off key?
Yeah, like a record scratch.
Exactly. It's a jarring shift. And that's what we're tackling today. The complex connection between substance use disorder and, our mental well-being. We're digging into a recent report on SUD, breaking down what it is, how it impacts our minds, and the road to recovery. It's fascinating stuff. One thing that really struck me is how prolonged substance use can actually rewire our brain chemistry.
Oh, absolutely. That's a key takeaway. It's like it hijacks the natural reward system.
Making it harder to feel good, naturally.
Exactly.
So before we get lost in the complexities of brain chemistry, let's start with the basics. What exactly is substance use disorder?
Well, it's important to remember that substance use disorder, or SUD, it's a medical condition. It's not a moral failing or a lack of willpower. It's this intense, often overwhelming urge to use substances, even when they're causing harm. Think about those compulsive behaviors, needing more and more of the substance to get the same effect, and even painful withdrawal symptoms when you try to stop. It's a real physiological and psychological battle.
It's not just a simple choice then, huh?
Right. And the report delves into how different substances actually disrupt the delicate balance of neurotransmitters in the brain.
Those chemical messengers.
Exactly. Take stimulants like cocaine, for example. They trigger a huge surge of dopamine, that feel-good chemical. But over time, your brain gets accustomed to that artificial flood and struggles to produce dopamine on its own without the drug.
So it's like chasing a high that keeps getting further away.
Exactly. And that's where the emotional roller coaster comes in. Depression often goes hand in hand with SUD. You're essentially depleting your brain's natural happy chemicals, which can leave you feeling, down and hopeless. And then there's anxiety, especially during those periods of withdrawal or when you're trying so hard to resist using.
It's like your brain gets stuck in that fight or flight mode.
Precisely.
So you're caught in this vicious cycle. Substance use messes with your brain, making you feel worse, which then can lead to more substance use to try to cope.
Exactly. And the report highlights this case study about a woman named Sarah. She was struggling with both substance use disorder and anxiety. And initially, her doctors only focused on treating the anxiety. But her symptoms, they didn't really improve until they addressed the underlying substance use. It's a really clear example of what we call a dual diagnosis, where someone is dealing with both SUD and a mental health condition at the same time.
It makes perfect sense when you think about it. It's like trying to fix a leaky faucet while ignoring a burst pipe.
That's a great way to put it. And the report emphasizes that treating both conditions simultaneously is absolutely crucial for true recovery.
Okay, so we've talked about the emotional turmoil, but what about the impact on, our thinking and social life? I mean, I imagine long-term substance use can really take a toll.
Oh, absolutely. The report talks about these cognitive struggles that people may face, like memory lapses. Imagine forgetting simple things or those tip-of-the-tongue moments becoming, more frequent. There's also difficulty concentrating, problems with solving problems, as if that mental sharpness we rely on isn't quite there anymore.
I hate that feeling, that brain fog. Makes everyday tasks feel so much harder.
Right. And then there's the poor decision-making, impulsivity, acting without really thinking things through. This can be particularly dangerous, leading to risky behaviors or putting a strain on relationships.
It's like the substance takes center stage, pushing everything else aside, even personal safety.
Unfortunately, yes. And then there are the physical signs, things like withdrawal symptoms when you're not using, like anxiety, insomnia, tremors, and needing larger and larger doses to get that same effect. That's a sign of growing dependence.
So these signs, they're not just isolated incidents. They're like pieces of a puzzle, potentially pointing towards SUD.
Exactly. It's about recognizing a pattern, a concerning shift in behavior and priorities. And, the earlier we can spot these signs, the sooner we can intervene and offer support.
Which leads us to the hopeful part, treatment option. What are some of the ways people can break free from the grip of SUD?
Well, the report goes into a variety of approaches, and it's important to understand that there's no one-size-fits-all solution. It's about finding what works best for the individual. But behavioral therapies are often a cornerstone of treatment.
Okay, let's break that down. What are some of those main types of behavioral therapy?
Well, you've got cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. It helps people identify and change those negative thought patterns and behaviors that are often linked to substance use. It's almost like rewiring the brain to respond differently to triggers and cravings.
So instead of automatically reaching for that drink or drug, you develop healthier coping mechanisms.
Exactly. Then there's motivational interviewing. This approach focuses on helping people explore their own ambivalence about change and tap into their own inner motivation for recovery.
So it's more about empowering the individual to find their own reasons for wanting to quit rather than, forcing change upon them.
Precisely. In fact, the report highlights a study where motivational interviewing was shown to be just as effective as traditional CBT for treating alcohol use disorder. It really underscores the importance of individualized treatment plans.
It's fascinating, isn't it? It's not just about telling someone to stop. It's about guiding them towards discovering their own path to recovery. Now, what about medication? What role does that play in treatment?
Medication can be incredibly helpful, especially during those early stages of recovery when withdrawal symptoms and cravings can feel so overwhelming. For example, for people struggling with opioid addiction, medications like methadone and buprenorphine can help manage those really difficult symptoms and reduce cravings.
It's like a bridge, giving them the stability they need to focus on therapy and building a healthier life without being consumed by those intense physical urges.
Exactly. There's also naltrexone, which blocks the pleasurable effects of opioids and alcohol, making them, well, less appealing.
So it's like removing that reward associated with the substance.
You got it. The report also mentions medications like acamprosate and disulfiram, which are specifically for alcohol use disorder. Acamprosate helps manage cravings and those withdrawal symptoms, while disulfiram, it actually creates unpleasant side effects if alcohol is consumed, so it acts as a deterrent.
It's fascinating how these medications work in different ways, but the end goal is the same, to help break that cycle of addiction.
Absolutely. And it's crucial to emphasize that medication should always be prescribed and monitored by a qualified healthcare professional as part of that comprehensive treatment plan. It's not a standalone solution.
Right. It's about integrating medication with therapy and, other supportive measures.
Mhm.
And speaking of support, the report also highlights the importance of integrated care, especially for those with a dual diagnosis.
Absolutely. It's vital to address both the SUD and any co-occurring mental health conditions simultaneously for long-term success.
Yeah.
Treating one without the other is like putting a bandage on a broken bone. It might offer temporary relief, but it won't fix the underlying issue.
It's about treating the whole person, not just the addiction.
Exactly. And beyond those professional treatments, support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous can provide an incredible sense of community and shared understanding.
That feeling of not being alone, knowing others have walked a similar path.
Right. And the report also touched upon the role of nutrition and herbal supplements in supporting recovery.
Oh, that's interesting. Are there specific supplements that can help?
Well, it's important to remember that supplements are not a replacement for professional treatment. They can play a supportive role, though, in overall well-being and potentially ease some of the challenges of recovery.
So more like a complementary approach.
Exactly. The report mentioned B vitamins, for example. They're crucial for brain function and energy levels, which can be depleted by substance use.
So replenishing those essential nutrients could help the brain, heal and regain its vitality.
Right. Omega-3 fatty acids are another one. They're known for their anti-inflammatory properties, which can support both cognitive function and mood regulation. It's like giving your brain the building blocks it needs to repair and rebuild.
It's amazing how even something as simple as nutrition can play a part in recovery. What about herbal remedies?
There are a few that have shown promise. Milk thistle, for instance, it supports liver function, which is so important considering the toll substance use can take on that organ.
Makes sense. The liver works overtime, filtering out toxins, so it needs some extra TLC during recovery.
Absolutely. And then you've got ashwagandha. It's traditionally used to reduce stress and anxiety, which can be incredibly helpful during withdrawal and those early stages of recovery. And valerian root, often used for sleep and relaxation.
It's about easing those uncomfortable symptoms, helping the body and mind find that sense of balance again.
Exactly. The report actually mentioned a small study that showed promising results using valerian root to improve sleep quality in people recovering from alcohol use disorder.
That's encouraging. But it's crucial to remember that supplements aren't a magic bullet. They should always be used under the guidance of a healthcare professional, right?
Oh, absolutely. Always consult with your doctor before starting any new supplement, especially if you're taking other medications or have any underlying health conditions. Safety first.
This has been incredibly insightful. It's really amazing how interconnected substance use and mental health are.
It's complex, but the good news is there are many paths to recovery and there's hope for a brighter future.
Speaking of hope and support, I think this is a perfect time to mention Cenario. They have a ton of information on their website about mental health, including substance use disorder. They even have a personalized wellness survey.
Oh, that's fantastic. It helps people gain a better understanding of their own mental well-being and offers personalized recommendations based on their responses.
A customized roadmap for their mental health journey. And I understand they also offer a line of supplements specifically formulated to support mental health.
Yes. They've got a great selection of supplements that may help with things like stress and anxiety, sleep, and cognitive function.
It's a holistic approach,
Yeah.
supporting both the mind and body. So if any of this has resonated with you, I highly encourage you to visit Cenario's website.
Absolutely. You can explore their information, take that personalized survey, and even check out their mental health supplements. You never know what might make a positive difference.
And remember, reaching out for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. It's the first step towards, well, reclaiming your life and embracing a healthier future.
Couldn't agree more. There's support out there, and recovery is absolutely possible. Take that first step toward a healthier, happier you.
We'll be back after a short break to continue exploring SUD and the path to recovery.
It's interesting, we often think of addiction as this isolated struggle. But the report, it really emphasizes the importance of social support, community in recovery.
Yeah, that makes sense. When you're dealing with SUD, it's easy to feel alone, ashamed even. But having a supportive network, that can make a huge difference.
It really can. The report actually cites studies that show people with strong social support systems, they're more likely to engage in treatment. They stay sober longer, and they're less likely to relapse.
So it's not just about therapy and medication, it's about those connections, building that sense of belonging.
Exactly. We're social creatures, right? We need those connections. We thrive on community. And when we're struggling, well, that support network, it can be a lifeline.
It's like having a cheering section, rooting for you every step of the way.
That's a great way to put it. And that feeling of belonging, it can be especially powerful for people in recovery. It helps combat those feelings of isolation, the shame that can often be, triggers for relapse.
So how do you build that support network? Support groups obviously are a great resource, but what about beyond that?
Well, I think it starts with honesty, being open with your loved ones, sharing what you're going through, asking for their support. That can be incredibly freeing. And remember, support doesn't always have to come from people who, have experienced addiction firsthand. Sometimes the most meaningful support comes from those who simply, they love you, they care about you, regardless of your past.
Yeah, that's true. It's about being surrounded by people who believe in you, who want to see you succeed.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to seek professional guidance on this, too. Therapists, they can offer tools and strategies for navigating those conversations, building those healthy relationships.
It's about creating that safety net, that support system that can catch you if you stumble.
You got it. And remember, recovery, it's not a straight line. There will be ups and downs, setbacks and triumphs, but having that strong support system in place can help you weather those storms and stay on course.
This deep dive, it's been really eye-opening. I mean, it's amazing how interconnected substance use and mental health are, and how recovery really does require a holistic approach, right? It's physical, emotional, social well-being.
Absolutely. It's a testament to human resilience.
Yeah.
And the power of connection.
Absolutely. And speaking of connection and support, I think it's a good time to bring up Cenario again. We mentioned them earlier, but I think their resources are worth highlighting.
Yeah, definitely. Cenario offers a wealth of information, support for anyone navigating mental health challenges, including substance use disorder. Their website, it's a great resource. Articles, blog posts.
And they have that personalized wellness survey we talked about. Tailored recommendations based on your individual needs.
It's a great tool. Helps you find the right resources, the support you need for your journey.
And let's not forget their line of supplements, specifically designed to support mental health.
Right. They've got a great selection that might help with stress, anxiety, sleep, cognitive function, you name it.
It's about taking a holistic approach, nourishing the mind and the body.
Exactly. And they're really committed to transparency, quality,
Wow.
sourcing their ingredients carefully, making sure their products are safe and effective.
So if any of this has resonated with you, if you're feeling, inspired to explore new avenues of support, I definitely encourage you to check out Cenario. Their website it's a wealth of information, and their team is really passionate about helping people, helping them thrive.
And remember, you're not alone in this. There's a whole community out there ready to support you.
Yeah.
And recovery, it's always possible.
It's about taking that first step, reaching out, embracing the possibility of a brighter future.
Absolutely. And never underestimate the power of hope. It can fuel your journey and guide you towards the life you deserve.
Beautifully said. And on that note of hope and empowerment, we'll wrap up this part of our deep dive. As we wrap up, one thing that really sticks with me from the report is this idea that recovery, it's not a destination. It's more like, a journey.
Oh, I completely agree. It's about progress, not perfection, right? You're going to face challenges, but each step, no matter how small, it's a win.
Yeah, it's about shifting our perspective. We tend to think of a cure, but it's more about seeing recovery as this ongoing process, growth, healing. It's a journey.
Think of it like learning a new skill. Like, say, playing an instrument. You wouldn't expect to just sit down at a piano and boom, you're a virtuoso. It takes time, practice. And even, those seasoned musicians, they're always learning, always growing.
I like that. It's a great analogy. Like, you might hit a wrong note here and there, but that doesn't mean you scrap the whole song, right?
Yeah, exactly. You learn from it, adjust, and keep going. And remember, you don't have to go it alone. It's like having a teacher, a bandmate, a conductor even. They can make all the difference.
And that brings us back to, the importance of community, that connection. You don't have to do this alone.
Absolutely. Having people who get it, who can offer encouragement and support, it makes you feel stronger, more capable.
And there are so many resources out there, right? Support groups, therapy, online communities even. Explore, find what works for you.
And there are organizations like Cenario, they're doing great work. Tons of information, personalized approach to mental wellness.
And they even have those supplements formulated specifically to support mental health.
Yep. They're all about that holistic approach,
It's encouraging to see companies like that dedicated to helping people thrive.
Yeah.
So to anyone out there who's struggling, whether it's with substance use or any mental health challenge, remember, you are not alone. There is help. Recovery is possible. Just take that first step, reach out, and know that you can have a healthier, happier future.
Absolutely. Never underestimate your own strength. You're more resilient than you think. You have the power to create the life you deserve.
That's a great message to end on. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you found it helpful. Until next time, take care and keep those brains humming.
Thanks for tuning in to the Cenario podcast. Don't forget to visit Cenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.